Welcome back, Star Wars fans. This is going to be a spoiler free movie review for Star Wars The Last Jedi, and mostly for the world premiere experience. Um, as we all know, the world premiere was this weekend, and it was everything that you would expect it to be, basically. The Force Awakens back in 2015, they had a movie premiere that was actually three different theaters. They had four blocks shut down and had it at the Grauman Theater, I think the Kodak Theater, and probably like an IMAX theater. Can't remember, but um, it was like three different theaters, all in four blocks. So I was lucky enough to be invited to the premiere. I'm somebody who I've partnership with Lucasfilm and Kenner Hasbro for the last actually 3 decades or so, and I just so happen to live close to LA anyways, so it is a benefit to live on the West Coast. Lots of Hollywood premieres, lots of red carpet events. They're almost like if you live this close to LA, it not even a big deal anymore. But to me, Star Wars is a big deal because it was always my favorite movie growing up, and I eventually even became a retailer who retails, sells Star Wars figures, collectibles, movie memorabilia. Uh, my primary thing was sports memorabilia, but I've contributed artwork. I've done lots of different stories and ideas, submitted them to Lucasfilm. Some of them have been published, some of them have not. Um, but I've always had some type of a little bit of a relationship with either Lucasfilm and also Kenner Hasbro. So I was very excited to once again go to another premiere. I've been to several of them, so um, I will say this: they definitely make it to be like a once in a lifetime experience. To me, actually, the best part is like the after party, especially if you're not one of the lucky people to actually screen the film or actually see the film. Um, there was a lot of people that saw The Force Awakens on opening night because there were several theaters actually for the opening event. Even well, it was actually only a day before the actual premiere itself, like the regular premiere for everybody else anyway. But like Bob Iger, the head dude from Disney, was there, and yeah. So this year was a lot of the same. Bob Iger was there, Mark Hamill, all the people you would expect to be there, such as you know all the stars in the movie. I personally met Chewbacca, the guy who plays Chewbacca. I saw Andy Gutierrez from the Star Wars show. She looked gorgeous, by the way. Thanks for the autograph, Andy. And um, yeah, so there were Wicket was there. Warwick Davis. Um, the only one that really, I mean, the big one that I really wished would have been there, but obviously she can't, was Carrie Fisher. It would have been a great um, experience, but um, her presence was definitely kind of felt anyway. I mean, she's in the film, and yeah, so the after party, I believe, just a lot of people are there, but they can't see everything going on the red carpet. You can't see everybody driving up, everybody arriving. I mean, you can to some extent, but there's like several kind of like blocks worth of space, allocated to this one event, and So a lot of people get to see them, but um, obviously you can't see the red carpet 3 blocks away. But yeah, it was quite the experience. It was great. It was awesome. Um, the film, um, if you have seen all of the trailers and the TV spots that they've already released, or even the toys, the figures, the Hasbro merchandise, the vehicles, stuff like that. Personally, I mean, you kind of already know what's going on as far as the film goes. You kind of have the general idea, but if I were to describe it without any spoilers, I would use just one word: more. Just more and more and more. Everything in this, um, more action, more lightsaber battles, more vehicle battles, spaceships. They're just everything was amped up, revved up. The Force Awakens, I would say, kind of had a little bit of an original trilogy, like original Star Wars type pace. This one seemed to be just a little bit, like I said, more. There's just more of it, more everything. I can't really say a whole lot without uh, saying too much. But for the general Star Wars fans in general, for even old trilogy fans, I think are gonna like this movie. I know a lot of people, such as somebody like Paul Harrison on my co-host for First Jedi podcast. Uh, he's a real critic as far as the um, Force Awakens. He doesn't even acknowledge it as a sequel or whatever. And I had a lot of issues with it too the first time I saw it, and I just didn't think it was a sequel. And the more I got to watch it, the more I got to accept it. And this is basically the hand that we're dealt. This is what I mean. These are the official films. These are the Lucasfilm films. Ray's in it, Kylo Ren, Poe Dameron, Finn. Those are the main characters now. And BB-8. I mean, they did create an iconic character, I guess you could say, right there with BB-8, the robot. I mean, he's a uh, innovative, new kind of droid. He's a ball that rolls, but his head never moves. It always stays up top. And great as a toy too. Great as a, that was a big hit with the mobile app or mobile phone version where you can sell out everywhere. Um, yeah, in Rogue One they had K2SO, but he's kind of disappeared really because that was just a one-off. He's a Galactic Empire droid, but he was reprogrammed for the Rebel, purposes. But as far as sorry, the uh, just the atmosphere itself. I saw a lot of like the difference. Of course, there's a lot more cosplayers. There's a lot more heavy duty fans at this type of event. Where I saw a lot of people dressed up as old man Luke Skywalker in the whiter type robe. I mean, or the light tan robe, and they uh, there was some really great cosplay there. Just the experience talking to the fans. You don't even have to talk about the movie, or even you don't have to talk about like what you expect or what or rate the films, or just the experience all over together. It's just great. Like Gwendolyn Christie, she was there. They had a Captain Phasma car. It was phenomenal looking, and she was like telling um, oh, I don't remember the guy's name, but the Star Wars show co-host, not Andy, but the guy. I forget his name all the time, but I think it was him that she was talking to. That she was saying she wanted that Phasma car. What does she have to do to get that Phasma car? And yeah, but as far as the film, like I said, it's just more. It's more, just more of this, more of that. I think in general, people are going to find this much more enjoyable than The Force Awakens. A few weeks ago, they were talking, let's say, like the actor who plays Snoke or Mark Hamill, his performance, they were saying Academy Award type stuff. But I don't know. I mean, you're just gonna have to watch the film yourself. But the do they deserve to win awards for this movie? Um, no, it just depends on what kind of category you're talking about. It's a great movie. It's definitely above average. It's I think going to please a lot more people than um, than the Force Awakens did, and even the critics are like the person I mentioned before from Jedi Temple Archives. He, I think he will even find good things to say about it. I can't say he's going to say it's as good as the original trilogy. I don't know if anybody will ever um, say that the new version of Star Wars is just as good as the original trilogy, but maybe in the future. Not really sure. Um, we got a different director for episode 9. It might change the tone dramatically because I think the tone changed quite a bit in this movie. Like I said, there's just more action. It's more action packed. This is an action oriented movie. It's not a war movie like Rogue One, but it's very different than Force Awakens. It's similar but better, I believe. And so I strongly suggest that if you like The Force Awakens, definitely see it. If you are just a general Star Wars fan, go see it. If just go see it because it's a good movie, even if you're not a Star Wars fan. So yeah, I give it 2 thumbs up. I guess it's it's different, and there's I guess a few surprises. I mean, like I said, if you've seen the trailers, you kind of already know what's gonna happen for the most part. The only thing, the vehicles, they're there, but I think that the designs could be a little bit better, in my opinion. Not quite original trilogy good, in my opinion, but same with, believe it or not, some of the costumes, especially for the Resistance, and I don't know, just that might be part of the reason why it kind of feels a little different. Um, it's kind of all still in the Star Wars universe, but I think there's some iconic imagery that is missing, or creative, or aliens, or um, just some of that stuff that you saw like in the New Hope, a cantina and stuff like that. But Ryan Johnson, I mean, everybody knows about the porgs, the little bird dudes, and um, the crystalline foxes, and I mean, they're introducing new aliens, new characters. There are new aliens in the movie, but they I don't know, it's a little bit better than the Force Awakens in that aspect, and so yeah, just go see the movie. It's great. So um, I not really gonna stick around and talk about it too much more, but I mean, I don't want to ruin anything. So it's hard not to even say anything right now. But legally, I can't anyway. So not till the 15th when it originally or officially is released. So yeah, um, go see Star Wars Episode 8: The Last Jedi.